I know my clinic is a great clinic and everything like that, but I waited until my knee was really uncomfortable before I actually went in. I'm using the medical system a lot because of different issues that have happened to me. And I know it's no fault of my own. Things just happen, right? A couple weeks ago, my knee just said, no, you're not going to walk today. And that's when I called. And thankfully, my doctor also does alternative therapy. She doesn't just use Western medicine. And so she did something on my knee that it's called needling or myofascia. And that really helped to release my knee so I could actually walk. I felt like a new person almost immediately.
Oh, but what about the butter? What about the butter?
Well, you could have done that too if you want to. I just forgot about it. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you. The staff, I think, is mostly Indigenous, which is really great. And I think what's happened is with the creation of Luma Medical Clinic, they know that Indigenous people have suffered a lot of traumas. They've suffered a lot of medical traumas as well. I do get triggered. And I was reminded by my doctor that it's a completely safe place, that all emotions are welcome, that I can take all the time I need. And they even have a cultural sharing room where I can go and I can pray in an Indigenous way, using traditional medicines and spending as much time as I need to. They'll close the door and I can have the whole space to myself, which is something I really, truly appreciate because I did need that one day. It was really hard. But I must say that every time I go into emergency, and it doesn't matter where I've been in this country because I've been sick many times, and I don't know why. Because I lead a clean lifestyle on purpose. But each time I go into emergency, I am begging the staff to help me, to treat me like a human being. They can tell that I am different from them. And I could tell that they're getting ready to assume that I fit in these certain roles without asking me first. So I go in and I have a spiel where I just go off and tell them exactly who I am and the lifestyle that I've practiced. I've never smoked in my life. I've never drank. I've never done drugs. I exercise daily and I eat healthy. And I beg them, please treat me well. Please don't hurt me. Please don't let me suffer with this pain because I don't know what it is and I don't know where to go. It does take me pouring out my heart every time. So even here in Vancouver, I really worried about going into emergency. I was having a severe pain and I called the health line and I talked to the nurse and she asked me questions and I told her my symptoms. I was having pain in my lower right side, my lower abdomen. And she said, "I'm sorry to tell you, but you have to go into emergency." And I burst into tears and said, "But I don't want to go. I don't want to go there." Thankfully, after I go through my long list with whoever is seeing me, thankfully they actually see me and they treat me. I have brought these issues up with my current doctor, and my doctor was really concerned, and what she did is she looked online for the names of the surgeon, and he's no longer practicing. So she actually looked for me because she told me, "I believe you. Luma is more holistic in their care, and so I've been reminded, a few times by my own doctor about how it is a safe place and how my emotions I'm free to express them as need be. Most often that's with tears, because that's the triggering point with the treatment, with the myofascia needling treatment that I've had on my knee. And I do recall at that one time, because it was the first time that I had ever done this kind of treatment, I was really, really triggered, and I really cried through that whole session with my doctor. And when I was done, she quietly led me to the cultural safety room, and it was a room full of medicines, all traditional medicines that I could use, in a ceremony that I've adopted. Not every Indigenous person does this. It's something that I've adopted in my own spiritual practice, to make prayers for myself so that I can have healing in my heart, mind, body, and spirit. And she let me know that I could stay there as long as I wished. I could burn the medicines that I needed. There was a drum there if I wanted to pick it up and I wanted to drum and sing. And she reminded me that I could take as much time. I just sat there and I cried. And I burned the medicines. I brushed it over my body. I made prayers for myself. I made prayers for my family. I made prayers for my friends. And I sat there and I just inhaled the scent from those medicines very, very deeply. And when I felt ready, I left. Nobody knocked on the door and said, when are you coming out? When the door is closed, they know that whoever's in there, they're going to be in there as long as they need. The place is set up so much so that there's an extra room where they host drumming and singing on once a week as well. I haven't participated in that portion, but I really love this idea where they're bringing in our culture in a very prominent way. This has never been something that I've ever experienced in the regular Western medicine setting. It's really very, very different, and I like it so much better. It means a whole lot for me, emotionally, spiritually, as well as physically, to be able to go there and participate in this, Luma Medical Clinic. It's wonderful.